Hello, everyone. I am the Enlightened One,
I'm Craig the Gray.
and this is Wrestling with the Paranormal. And today we are talking about the creepiest, the scariest thing I can ever tap my mind into. That is children who are haunting you. They are fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
So today we are wrestling with the main story we're talking about is what is it called? It's
The Charter House.
the Charlie House Visitor. And
Visitor.
so there's some, but we got some other stories about hauntings and children hauntings. And you ever notice in movies when you see a little kid and they start singing, there's this, see the children, they're like, la, 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 la. It's like so scary.
So you know it's a ghost?
Yeah, like just like in like a scary movie, you'll see like children like, and then usually like there was that one that was twins, and they're like little kids.
The Shining.
Yeah, that one was creepy.
That
And
was
they just
creepy.
like, la la la.
Ghost children are scary.
Yeah.
And then there was the little girl who comes out of the well in the ring. Did you see the ring?
Oh,
She has like long hair and she comes out of a well.
But she comes out of your TV.
She comes out of your TV.
Yeah,
demon children and ghost children are very popular in movies. It's like a pretty standard thing nowadays. I have extra scary lighting today. I don't know if you can notice. My lighting is extra scary.
So let's get right into our main story. It takes place in the English county of Somerset. So in the English county of Somerset, they have limestone tunnels everywhere, and they like intertwine underground, and they go like so far down deep. And some say it's the final resting place of King Arthur, and Merlin is guarding him there. Some say there's a fearsome giant there. Roman soldiers went missing in these tunnels.
Mm-hmm. There's an ancient Roman road that was abandoned. They didn't finish building it, but it leads to Charterhouse, which is what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, so they were doing some mining there as well, right?
Yes, and the mining was very dangerous. Claimed lots of lives, and there's suspicion that they used children in the mines that could come back later.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah.
So the mining went up right until World War II. And then it became an education center, and they used it to rescue hikers and stuff like that. And so our story takes place in 1982 when a secondary school goes there on a field trip. And so they're about to go hiking or whatever in the woods. And one of the main teachers, his name is, what is his name? It is
Richard Gardner.
Richard Gardner. So Richard Gardner, he goes ahead in his minibus, and I guess all the other students are walking. And somewhere along the way, one of the kids in the different groups goes missing. And so Richard Gardner, he's waiting, and so he decides that he's going to be looking all over for the girl. Goes back to the Charter House, and no one there, and so he decides to drive along to where there's I guess it's called the Velvet Bottom, is one of the old mines, and there's an old hut there that they a scout hut.
A scout hut.
A scout hut.
A scout hut.
Yes.
Hout. It's a hout.
And there's some old picnic tables. And so he pulls up the vehicle with all the kids inside, and he hears some children kind of laughing and playing outside. And what I say, it's pouring rain at this point. And and it didn't seem
And
like
dark
a
too.
natural.
I imagine it's dark. It's always
In
dark.
my mind, I'm imagining it's dark
And
too.
it's
But
rainy. It's dark. It's as scary as you can possibly make it.
well, yeah, for
Maybe
our
there's
story, it's
lightning and
definitely dark.
thunder
I
in
don't
the
know why
back.
these kids are
Yeah.
going on a field trip in the middle of the night.
Okay, maybe it could just be a really dark day from the
Yeah,
clouds.
yeah. So he's hearing all this laughing and playing outside. He's like, this is really odd. So first he's thinking like maybe the girl has found a friend and they're just kind of laughing or whatever.
That'd be weird. You get lost and then you find a friend and then you
Yeah,
start
like he's
laughing.
yeah,
But none of the other kids are lost. If she found a friend, it would be a ghost.
So he gets
Just
out.
saying.
He gets out and he starts hearing different laughing and kind of teasing and laughing and all sorts of things from different children coming from different places around the scout hut. And first it's coming from behind it, and then as soon as he's from behind, it's coming from the other side. And he's checking, he keeps looking around, and he's just getting a really weary, really weird feeling about this.
Eerie.
And so he's almost feeling like they're kind of mocking him. And so he gets back in the vehicle, and as he's driving, he sees one of the teachers and the girl that is missing, and they go back. I guess they finished their field trip, obviously, because it's just the start. But eventually, they go back to the charter house.
Oh, but another detail though. So when he was walking around the hut and everything, he left a bunch of the kids in the bus.
Yeah.
And when he got back, from the looks on their faces, he could tell that they also heard the laughing.
Oh yes,
So
yeah.
it wasn't just him. The other
point.
kids in the bus were freaked out too. Right. So
do you want to continue the story on from here?
Well, so the girl's found. Okay, she doesn't go missing forever. She gets found, so that's a happy part of it. But then he starts talking to one of the guys who works there at the rescue center and the education
center. His name
is
Terry.
Terry Bird. Yeah, so Terry Bird, they call him the warden. Oh, sounds weird. Makes it sound like it's a prison, but that's what he's called. He's the warden of the center. And Richard asks Terry about the laughing because he tells him his whole story about how he went around the scout hut and heard all this laughter and didn't see any kids there, so he was kind of spooked out by it. And Terry told him that he wasn't the first person to hear voices, so I guess other people have heard voices too. And so Terry had a terrifying story of his own to share with Richard. And this is some ways back. Terry's been working there for a while.
This is a year before.
It was a year before. Okay. So working at the rescue place, once in a while, he has to go to the center by himself to clean the equipment and, just look after things and check and make sure everything's working and all the stocks are supplied, that kind of stuff. And one of the nights he decides he might as well just stay there. I guess maybe it was so
because
late.
he doesn't want to worry his wife
Right.
going down, so he just stays over.
He just stays over because sounds like the safest thing to do, right? Stay at the haunted kind of place. Sounds good. So he stays over, and when he falls asleep. Oh, he's sleeping in the center in the sick bay because there's a bed. I guess that makes sense. So he's sleeping in there, and he's woken up by a sound outside, and it just sounds like an animal. Like it just sounds like something creeping around the house, and he just thinks it's an animal. Like it wakes him up. It's loud enough to wake him up, but he figures, whatever, it'll just go away. Plus, he knows all the doors and windows are locked because he locked them all, so he's not worried about it. But then he's woken up again, and he hears claws on the floorboards downstairs inside the center.
Okay, so let's just take a little pause here and address this. So he doesn't get up, right? He stays in bed.
At this point, I think he still thinks it's just an animal that got in somehow.
Okay, so I'm guessing at this point, this is just my theory, is he's a little freaked out.
You think he's paralyzed with fear?
I think so. I think there's something because You can kind of like, do you ever wake up in the middle of the night just freaked out?
Yeah,
Just
I
the
mean,
noise?
you're in a very vulnerable state when you're sleeping, and then when you wake up, you're not like completely,
Yeah, and it's like, what's going on? What's that noise outside? Like, right? And so I think he's just got that thing going on, and he's just kind of hoping it all goes away, and it kind of feeds into his fear, I think. So continue on.
Yeah, so I think at this point he probably just thinks, okay, it's an animal, but that's fine. If it found a way in, it should find a way out. I don't have to worry about it. But then he starts to hear the claws climbing up the staircase. He hears like a regular thud as this creature, whatever it is, starts climbing up the stairs because he's sleeping on the second floor.
Yeah, there's no way this is an animal.
Now, the door is locked in the sick bay where he's sleeping. The door's locked.
Yeah, this is the creepiest part right here.
But he hears like a scratching, and then he hears this most terrifying sound. He hears it's like something slide. It's like a grinding sand sound as something is sliding underneath the door, which is like only like that half
So I
inch.
guess that's a hard description to make, but he's making pretty much saying that he's hearing something sliding underneath the door.
Yeah, which sounds terrifying. I can't imagine something sliding under the door. And then he sees, so at this point he kind of like, I guess he gets up and just starts to look, and he sees this black shape, like some kind of creature. It rocks the bed, and Terry kicks out, and when he
I
kicks
said
out,
something about seeing teeth as well.
did he say teeth?
Yeah, he saw
Okay.
some
He
sharp
kicks
teeth.
and he kicks out, and I don't know what it feels like, whatever he kicks, but he hears a high-pitched screech when he kicks, and then the creature slams into the door and then crawls back out. Now, then when Terry gets up, he turns on the light and realizes all his stuff's been like thrown around in the room somehow, and who knows how long this encounter took. Maybe he was kind of out of it a little bit, but like that's really strange that he saw like a black shape and then he kicked at it and it screeched. I can't imagine what kind of animal that would be.
So he's paralyzed with fear. See, the thing about it is, if this was not just some spiritual entity, there's no way it's taken off.
What do you like? I mean, it also ties into the fact that like there's the voices of children around, so like there's some kind of either spirit or I don't think it's a cryptid in this sense.
No,
I
I
think it's
don't
just
either.
like a spirit like taking the form of some dark creature or something.
Okay, so as far as demon goes, I'm thinking like they can only hurt you as much as they're allowed to.
Your fear like feeds into it.
Well, if there's demon, there's God, right? So God is only going to let them hurt you as much as they're allowed. So the fact that, there's no laws on animals to hurt you.
I see.
So if it was an animal or a cryptid, it could go on and just eat the shit out of you, right?
Yeah, it was weird that it didn't like do anything to him.
Yeah, like so it was just there
away.
to scare the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, I'm thinking it wasn't allowed to do anything physical to him.
This brings up a good point about paranormal occurrences in general. Like, there's very few reports of people being severely hurt by any real. I mean, our last episode was about haunted cars killing people, but like, notwithstanding, like, it seems like maybe the most powerful thing that a demon or an evil entity can possess is actually a car to actually do damage to you. Because a lot of the stories we hear, people get scared. They get like even the house hauntings, like Amityville Horror and stuff. Like they just get scared.
Well, when it comes to demons, I think they need a license to do harm to you. So they need to have an in, right? So
that's interesting.
And ghosts, like all they can do is like boo.
It kind of reminds me too, like there's an idea that like vampires actually can't come into your house unless you invite them in.
Yeah.
right? There's like that idea that
Yeah, we have
you
that. We had the vampire episode.
we had a vampire. I think we went over that rule.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is an interesting story. This place. There's also like other I looked up in that same area. There's like a famous witch. There's like these caves. The Wick. Did you see this? It's like the Wicku witch or something.
Oh no! So this is related to that.
No, it's just like that area of England has like a lot of different paranormal things included into it. So I don't think that the witch is anywhere around here. It's like, but in the same geographical kind of area.
Well, you almost think that the energy, the negative energy, is all kind of tied together, though, right?
It could be, yeah. Yeah.
So
I kind of did. You look at some pictures of this place at all?
a little bit, but it was mostly the limestone caverns and stuff like that.
Somerset, eh?
But really, what really got me more than the entity is the children.
In Shire County, did you know that?
I thought it was Somerset. English. I thought it was Somerset.
Is Somerset the county?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
English County of
England.
Somerset. Yeah,
Somerset County?
Well, we do know our friend Jeff is from there.
Yeah.
Jeff
and Geff are both from. No, it's Shire County. It's Shire County. I'm looking at some images here. Pretty spooky stuff.
But they said on the
So this is where the hobbits live too. Just to put that into context.
Interesting.
If hobbits are real. Kind of interesting, kind of rolling hills and stuff. Yeah, okay.
So what really got me is the kids more than the entity that came in the room. Like that would be scary, but the kids they that would kind of bug me more in some ways because like
children laughing, even a real child laughing is kind of creepy. It's true.
Shut up! You're creeping the hell out of me, you little brat.
It's kind of creepy. I don't know why. It just is sometimes. But like a group of children laughing can be really disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially when they're not there.
Yeah. Did you get any other stories here? We got lots of children hauntings.
Okay, so
child ghosts.
George Washington.
Never heard of him.
The first president of the United States of America. Now you ringing a bell?
Okay.
Yeah, think yeah. All right. So he was haunted by ghost children.
Are you a president specialist?
I am not.
Okay. How did you know this?
I looked it up. It's called Google.
Holy smokes.
It's
okay.
Google.
This is opening up whole other new avenues to research.
You're not using a library or something to find out.
I'm going to the library and looking things up in the encyclopedia. Like
imagine if we had to do that, how hard that would be. Like that's how people used to do things.
How did they make podcasts?
Yeah.
How did they make podcasts? They were looking stuff up in the encyclopedia.
So George Washington was haunted by ghost children.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, Martha would adopt kids by the dozens behind his back.
Kind of like Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, but like George Washington would come home and all of a sudden like, who the hell are these kids? Oh, they're your new kid. They're your new sons and daughters. I don't know why I'm getting a British accent.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe they were British.
Well, yeah, well, it was that
Who
time,
knows?
right? George Washington did have the British curly hair, so maybe they did talk like that.
So whenever he turned his back, she'd adopt another child.
Yeah.
Don't you turn your back to me, George Washington. I'll adopt another child.
So which makes me think that all the ghost children were there because they wanted to be part of the family.
Maybe can you adopt ghost children? Maybe you can adopt.
Well, maybe that's what they felt like. They wanted to belong because all these other kids were getting adopted. Like, hey, what about us?
Yeah, that's fair.
So, what's your story?
I got a story here from New Orleans. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
There's a famous It's a famous hotel. It's a famous haunted hotel in New Orleans. It's called the Andrew Jackson Hotel. Have you heard of this place?
Andrew Jackson.
Another president. No, wait. Was he president? If only we had a president specialist on the
Yeah, I'm
show.
not a president.
Because he sounds like he's either a president or a famous general.
We'll look it up.
I don't have a set of encyclopedias with me.
Look it up on the
Does this look
Google.
Those aren't encyclopedias behind me. Those are board games.
All right.
Okay, you can look it up while I'm telling the story if you want. Or
I'm
viewers
not
at
looking it
home,
up.
if you want to look up who Andrew Jackson is, go ahead. Maybe it'll
And
be
leave it in the
story.
comments.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Okay, so let's go back to let's do some backstory here, okay? So 1794, all right? There's a massive fire in New Orleans. It's actually called the Great New Orleans Fire. I don't know what's so great about it, but it burned down 212 buildings.
Wow.
212 buildings. Yeah. Can you imagine a massive fire in your city is burning down 212 buildings? I guess they didn't have firemen back then. So
They
when a
hadn't been
fire
invented
gets
yet.
started, it's just
They hadn't been invented yet.
it just runs rampant. And one of the buildings that burned down, this is where the connection is, was a boarding school. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mostly orphans would end up there. But it burned down and a lot of the children burned inside and died that night. So that's the backstory, because then years later, for a while it becomes some weird courthouse, but then years later they build a hotel on the same site where the boarding school was, where all the children died. And that's the Andrew Jackson Hotel. And people who stay there say that they hear children in the, like, when they're out in the courtyard. There's like a pool in a courtyard. They hear children, but there's no children there. They hear them laughing and playing. One guest was woken up by static on the TV. Like the TV was just on, and he's, oh, how'd the TV get turned on? And he sits up in bed, and there's a ghost child sitting in the middle of the room watching the TV.
At least turn the Nintendo on and play video games.
That's freaky. But you know what else is weird? If that child is the ghost of a child who was killed in 1794, how would he know how to turn a TV on?
That's
Do you
interesting.
think ghosts learn? I guess they learn by watching people do things.
Yeah, you think you'd learn, like you'd see them click the thing on, like watch and observe, right?
I guess static's pretty entertaining if you're from
1774. Like,
woo, wow, what is that?
It's snowing on the box.
But there's other stories.
All ghosts, by the way, have English accents.
Oh, and one of the rooms is extra haunted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, your image was frozen for a second there. That was scary.
It happens sometimes, I notice with this.
Does my image freeze sometimes?
Not yet.
That's terrifying.
And
so
we
one
have a special guest on the show. Look who it is.
Oh my god, it's a famous Instagram cat.
Fruit cat.
That looks like kind of cat that has at least 20,000 followers.
Look at his head bigger than mine.
Oh my god. I still think we should do an episode on cats.
If we can find some interesting stuff, why the hell not?
Anyway, Andrew Jackson Hotel, room 208 is extra haunted. One guest reported having the bed covers pulled off of them when they were sleeping. That'd be terrible.
That was no.
Plus, you'd be all cold, and you'd be like, "Whoa,
I'm leaving." If that happens, I'm leaving.
That would be freaked out. Oh, and this was a strange one. One guest in room 208 woke up to the sound of cereal being poured onto the floor, and then children laughing.
The little brat.
So they play like pranks and stuff. And then there's also a famous ghost in the Andrew Jackson Hotel named Armand, like Armond, Armand. And he's apparently like a boy who must have died. And he plays a lot of pranks on people. People report seeing him. Now this is kind of like, so then people say like room 208 is where he died. That's what they say. But like a lot of other hauntings that we've covered on this show, the Andrew Jackson Hotel advertises themselves as being a haunted hotel. So when you go to the website, they talk about like you could stay in room 208, and they put like some of the reports up on there and everything. Not saying that it's not true. I'm just saying like they are kind of
Everyone
making
likes
money
to
off
cash in on the ghosties.
I mean, who can blame them? You're running a haunted hotel. You got to attract people somehow, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people who don't want to stay in a haunted hotel.
I have a question for you. Do you know the game Pac-Man?
You eat the ghosts. No, you eat ghosts.
Inky, Blinky, is it Inky, Blinky, and Dot? I don't know, but
They're the ghosts.
yeah. How did they die?
I bet you Pac-Man ate them like they were just
regular
normal
Pac people. And
yeah, and Pac-Man ate them. He's like, I'm eating.
And now
you.
that's why they're after him, because he freaking killed them. And now he's like, he's not the good guy in the story.
He's eating ghosts too. That's weird.
Yeah, he's trying to kill them again.
Ghosts.
He killed them once, and now he's trying to kill them again.
He keeps killing them.
Yeah,
and he's taking all the food. He's eating all the cherries and everything. He's just eating everything.
And his wife's a stupid bag too.
Yeah, what the hell? Pac-Man.
Don't eat ghosts. Is that it for that story?
Let me see what I got here. Armand, yeah. Children laughing. That's all I got. Yeah. Is that all I got?
Okay, so I got a really creepy one for you. This is a little quick one. So there's this young woman in Iceland, and she gives birth to a baby, and she's a young woman, and she decides that she doesn't want the baby, and it's cold outside, so she just kind of puts it outside after she gave birth to it to freeze to death. And this is before it was illegal to do that sort of thing. And
it was okay.
I don't know. So a couple years later, she's invited to this party at nighttime.
I would never invite her to a party.
Well, they don't know about her past dealings.
Okay.
So they invite her to this party, and she kind of bummed out because she doesn't have a dress to wear to go to the party.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Mm-hmm. And so
she's going to turn into a pumpkin.
No, so she's kind of bummed out at home, stays home, and all of a sudden she hears this singing. Mother mine in the fold, you need no be so sad. You can wear my cast off rags so you can dance and dance. And I guess she heard it out of nowhere kind of thing. And she went insane after that.
Okay, for some reason that song reminded me of Roxanne. You don't need to put your red dress on. I don't know why, but I was like, I thought that's what that song was.
Let me read those words. Mother mine in the fold. You need no be so sad. You can wear my cast off rags so you can dance and dance. And so it just sent her. She knew she had killed her baby, and she knew that the baby was the one who was singing the song to her. And
okay, so we're learning a lot about ghosts today. So the baby died, but as a ghost, it grew enough to be able to sing.
Well, I wonder if when you die, when you die, you get your full intelligence. If your
ability to sing.
Well, if you're a kid, right, you must get your full, get an upgrade right away because you're dead.
In the like ghost realm.
Yeah.
I guess. It's strange. Okay.
You don't want to be a baby going.
That'd be freaky, man. Like a real ghost baby, like just a ghost of a baby.
Yeah, that's just like. Yeah, this one was a bit creepy, and the next one doesn't get any better.
Here we go.
So a servant girl in Poland. Same sort of situation.
Totally different than Scotland. Poland. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Servant in the
same
Poland.
Situation.
Same situation.
Freezing babies.
She's got a baby. She doesn't want it. She gives birth to it, but she smothers it. And
it's a dark episode.
She buries it in the turf shed. I don't know what a turf shed is. I think that's just, I don't know. I looked it up, couldn't figure it out.
It's right next to the scout hoot.
Yeah.
Scout hoot.
So yeah, she buried it in the shed, and after that, people would walk by the shed and hear crying coming out of the shed.
Whoa.
So
Yeah. And then they knew what she done. If you hear crying from somebody's shed,
well, I think some people went inside there and then nothing was there. You're like, what the heck?
have you ever heard of so I think this is in like around Britain and like Scotland and like that kind of area, like Celtic kind of beliefs. And they believed that sometimes the fairy people, like the fae, would come and they'd swap your baby with a fae baby. Like so, and they would take your human baby to the fairy world and then they'd swap the babies. And then when that happened, like the mother could tell, she'd be like, "That's not my baby," and there'd be like mothers saying, like, "This isn't my baby, this isn't my baby." And then like the village, if they all agreed that it wasn't her baby, they would just kill the baby
That's creepy.
because they thought it was a fairy baby. They're like, "This isn't a human baby, this is a
But
fairy
it's just the
baby."
mom being insane.
But
Really?
it could just be the mom being crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
that's
Yeah.
like maybe it's just like I don't want a baby. I'm gonna say this isn't my baby.
And it's just kind of like the witch thing. If someone says you're a witch, you're pretty much screwed.
If everybody believes that the baby's like a monster baby, then you know.
Yeah.
That's
I have one more story for you. This comes from the Night Mute High School in Alaska. Even
Is
the
it
name of the school.
happy
sounds-
story.
No.
We're not ending on a high note.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna look up a happy ghost story.
So this comes even the name of the school, Night Mute,
Night Mute.
is the name of the school in
That's a
Alaska.
weird name.
So, anyways, it's not really it's not as really dark as the other ones. There was a grave found under room 106 in the high school, and after that, they started hearing like toilets flushing and the lights flickering on and off. And in the hallways, you'd hear like a girl singing like a happy tune, but no one would be there.
Mm.
And when no one was in the basketball in the gymnasium, you would hear someone shooting hoops. And you'd look inside and you'd just see a ball bouncing or something like that. So,
Whoa.
so yeah, that's the story of a Night Mute ghost.
I tried to look up happy.
Well, it's not really happy. It's
That one wasn't that bad.
no,
you know?
no.
But we learned a lot today. Like, it is true that a lot of ghost stories, they don't really hurt people that much. They just scare them.
Well, let's talk about the children. Why are they haunting?
Well, I think in that hotel, they're playing tricks on people. Like, oh yeah, I found one more page of my notes. They also, in that Andrew Jackson hotel, they would take people's belongings out of their room and they would end up in a different room. So people would be like, oh, where's my purse is gone? And then some
That's a
other guest,
classic
like, I
kid move
found this,
right there.
right? It's just hilarious, right? So I think
That would be funny if they
They-
switch people's wallets. That would be funny.
that'd be weird. You look for your ID, you're like, this isn't me. That kind of reminds me, this is a total offside thing, but did you ever watch Monty Python?
I did watch a few of them.
There was this one episode where an old lady's knitting and the mailman knocks on her door and she goes out to get the mail and the mailman's like, here's your mail, Mrs. Johnson. And she's like, what? I'm not Mrs. Johnson. And he's like, yeah, this is your house. It's like 12th Avenue. You're Mrs. Johnson. She's like, what? I'm not Mrs. Johnson. This isn't 12th Avenue. And then she looks at her house address and she's like, oh, I've done it again. I'm in the wrong house. And she goes to this other house and she like gets Mrs. Johnson out of her house. She's like, oh, we did it again. We went to the wrong houses. And there was just these two old ladies who had switched houses.
Oh,
That's
they
the
both
whole
agreed
joke.
that they screwed
Yeah, they
up.
were both in each
Sorry
other's
about
wrong
that.
house. So stupid.
You know, my favorite thing of Monty Python is in the search for a Holy Grail, they needed a password to cross the bridge, or you shall not pass.
Oh
sort of thing.
yeah.
What is your favorite color?
Yeah.
Blue.
dumb.
Wrong. What do you mean? That's my favorite color.
And then they're wrong. They go flying through the air. Yeah, that's good.
So
What did?
getting
Yeah.
back to the
Okay.
ghosts. So
What if
why are they haunting?
So they die in a terrible accident, like the children in the fire, and then they're ghosts, and they don't know how to not be ghosts anymore. And then they get bored, and they're just fucking with people because they're bored. Like if you're a ghost for hundreds of years, you know how bored you'd get.
Okay, more what I mean is why aren't they going into the light and passing on, you know?
They get why do they get stuck?
Yeah, why are they
Well, that's a
stuck?
deep question, but I have a feeling like they don't know, and they don't know how to get out of it. Like
Yeah.
they don't know. You know, maybe they need somebody like a guide or something. Like something needs to happen, like in that movie Ghost, right?
I think
He's stuck in between, and he needs to solve his own murder,
I
right?
think that we shouldn't use movie references so much.
No, I think we should do more movie references.
Okay. So I think it's also the fact that they're so young and they had so much life ahead of them.
They wanted more life. They want to hold on to get more life.
Yeah, they're not ready to. Maybe they had an opportunity to enter the light, but they didn't get it or they didn't understand, and they weren't ready to go through.
But it's seems pretty common with ghost stories that there's this idea that like they're just stuck on Earth, like they're like a lot of cultures believe like you need to do very specific things to make sure that people's spirits don't get stuck on Earth. Like you have to follow certain rituals and do certain things, So
well, getting back to the our main story where the children were, you said that they were being forced to labor.
Oh, that they were in the mines.
Yeah,
that was what I read a little bit up on it, and somebody said that the laughing children could have been children that were forced to mine in the mines because there were silver mines and some other thing that's valuable. Well, I guess limestone's valuable, maybe. Lime. There's not actually lime in limestones. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, no, lime is actually a type of fruit, and it doesn't
I'm
actually
aware
grow in rocks. I know it's late, but you should know that limestone isn't actually made out of lime. But I think it's a good building material, if I'm right. I think it's like easy to shape, but it's still really structurally sound.
Is that why they call British people limeys? Because there's lots of
Limeys,
limestone there.
I think so.
Lots
I
of
think
limestone in England.
You have to go into the limestone mines.
Yeah, you limey.
You limey. But yeah, I think they forced the children to mine, and then they probably died in cave-ins, and you run out of oxygen down in the mine, and you die. There's lots of ways to die in a mine.
So maybe they're mad at their captors too, right? And they're mad at the people who kind of robbed life from them, and they're just like, I guess like they're trapped and they don't know how to move on. You're right. It's just like it's just no easy answer for that one.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times it's about justice as well.
It could be. Yeah.
Because like once the captor is
well, does an exorcist help get rid of ghosts? Or just demon possession?
I'm thinking that's more of a demon thing. I think like
so what do you do if you have ghosts then?
I think you could I don't know. That's a strange.
I know they used to use like a medium was supposed to be someone who could talk to the ghost to figure out what it needed or wanted, and then maybe you could help the ghost. Like I've kind of read that story too. Like that's what mediums were trying to do, but I don't know.
I think it's just like a matter of the ghost feeling at peace.
Mm-hmm.
They're restless. And they need to have peace. They need to know, like, for example, the girl who was buried in the baby, I don't know if it was a girl, the baby that was buried in the shed, that baby needed kind of closure and have a proper funeral and, kind of thing. Instead of like, same with probably the one that was froze to death. It needed proper closure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like, just like, yeah, it's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it's
But
tricky.
that's what we wrestle with here on Wrestling with the
Wrestling with the Paranormal. Famous child ghost Casper. He was friendly. See, there's a happy ghost story.
Paranormal. There is a
Casper, the friendly ghost. He just helped people, I think.
okay.
That's all
Let's
it was
do
his
this good
deal.
impression here. You know when they see the ghost, what do they say when they freak out?
This is a joke.
No, we're gonna both do an impression of when someone who isn't friends with Casper and they freak out and they run away. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
A ghost. Hey, your turn.
A gig ghost.
No, that was not a believable.
This isn't an acting podcast.
Yes, we are.
We're
also
gonna be
seeking
actors.
acting.
Yeah.
We are actors seeking
Actors.
jobs in
We're not only
Northern
gonna
Hollywood in Vancouver.
we're not gonna only discuss ghost paranormal stuff. We're gonna reenact it from
Yes.
now on. We're gonna reenact it. Yeah. At least a little portion of the show will be a reenactment, a dramatization, if you will.
So there is a theory that
Oh.
Casper is Richie Rich's brother, and Richie Rich killed Casper
Whoa.
to get all the money.
It's within the classic children's universe, like cinematic universe. The classic children's
Whoever Hanna-Barbera,
characters,
whoever does Richie Rich and Casper.
the classic children's characters cinematic universe, the CCCCCU.
See.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Let's
theory
bring it.
that
That's everybody's calling for it. They should make those movies. Make Casper again. You got to make Richie Rich again, and then they got to team up and fight each other.
well, I want the story of Casper making sure Richie Rich does time for killing him.
And turns out that they're brothers.
Yeah. Twin brothers.
I guess you could throw the Addams Family in there too. It's a different era.
They're scene hogs. They're not gonna, look at me, I'm a hand.
I was just thinking of something and then I lost it. I had another thread there. It's gone. All this juicy content, that we're talking about. Casper the Ghost. This wall-to-wall juicy content.
Oh yeah.
I think this is another one of those
Not to mention
episodes.
Fruit
There's some
Cat.
fluff. There's some fluff right there.
Not to mention Fruit Cat appearing on the show twice today.
Wow. That is that's stellar content right there.
So guess what?
T-shirt came in?
No.
But it's on delivery because they sent me an email that said my T-shirt is being delivered.
I got that as well.
As we speak.
I was like,
on a truck.
So you just made it. Like we're busy.
Well, you said they had some kind of shortage or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are gonna make a Fruit Cat T-shirt.
Whoa! Wow! For the Instagram.
Yeah. So he's gonna be part of the effing wrestling universe.
Cool.
And
I'll probably buy one of the Batman shirts as the new effing wrestling.
We also have two new Batman. I
saw them. Yeah, the colors. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we have a purple one and a yellow one with the black shirts.
Pretty cool
we
stuff.
encourage you, if you're going to buy Batman one, to buy the purple one because I don't think anyone's going to buy it.
The Paranormal's charcoal, or is it purple?
It's charcoal.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to have two purple shirts.
No,
yeah, there's purple logo on it.
There's purple writing on it.
Yeah,
on the Paranormal. So yeah, buy whatever one you want.
I'll buy a purple Batman shirt. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, viewers out there, buy yourself a shirt. Effing wrestling. What is it called? Wrestling Tees.
Pro Wrestling Tees.
ProWrestlingTees.com
/effing wrestling is our store. And with our all effing wrestling league, we started making shirts for some of the competitors, so they actually have their own wrestling shirts now. So that's fun.
That's like if you make a certain level in the league, like if you hit a certain.
Oh, so what we're doing is we will make them a shirt if they promise to buy it. That's the thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like print on demand kind of thing.
But we'll kind of make the design for you and whatever, and get you on a shirt. But you have to promise to buy it. So
check out the website, everybody.
Yeah. So and visit on effingwrestling.com. our Twitter, All F and Wrestling, and Instagram, All F and Wrestling as well. And make sure you like and subscribe if you like our content. If you don't, fuck off.
Do you ever put links below the link? You put a link in the.
I should be doing
should
that,
start
and
doing
I
that.
will do that today.
It only takes a second. Cut.
Yeah.
It's a simple cut and paste job.
Yeah, I
Boom.
know. Why
Link
am I so...
link in the show underneath the screen there. I don't know what you call that. The description. Link in the description. Look at this. I'm like a professional podcaster here. There'll be a link in the description. People like and subscribe.
Do you know when I first started doing this paranormal show, I was trying to tell wrestling ghost stories for every episode. But that quickly ran dry.
See, but we never run out of topics. We've got like 3 months.
We got Casper, we got Pac-Man.
They're all planned out. They're all on the schedule. We've got them all planned out, and we do our intense research. And yeah, you know.
Did the Flintstones ever have a ghost?
Oh, I'm sure there was a ghost episode. He saw that Martian.
Yeah, that was an alien
probably
episode.
A demon.
So that's what if it was? He was calling Fred
Marvin or something? No, not Marvin.
Oh,
Gazoo or something. Gazoo, yeah.
Yeah. That's a demon name if I ever heard one.
Yeah, Gazoo. Come on.
And he was hurting Fred's what is it called? Morale? No, his confidence.
Right.
He was calling him dum dum all the time.
He was. It wasn't not a very good.
He was tearing him down.
What a bad delusion. If your delusions are bringing you down, you don't need them.
Yeah.
You don't need them. Just get rid of them.
New delusions.
That's what I say. Yeah. Just get rid of them. That's what I say.
So thanks for joining us tonight. We told some really creepy stories about children, ghosts, and but just love your children and have a good time. And thanks for watching.
If the stories made you feel sad, cheer yourself up by buying a t-shirt.
That'll help everything. And on that note, what do you have to say?
Keep on wrestling with the Paranormal.